As always, please retry this question before watching the video. Two things you need to know to be able to get this question correct consistently. If you don't know them, please add them to your cheat sheet, Mastermind Go Back 5 before continuing the video. What is the difference between transition and intro questions? Transition questions refer to allude to something before and after, while intro questions just allude to something after the given sentence or word. What is the WTD for the understanding grouping? First, being able to recognize understanding grouping if it actually asks a question. Okay, most of the others just have prompts, and they're the same prompt every time you get that category. There's nothing unique to that specific question. But if it's actually asking a question, then it's an understanding question, which means it's about the content, not about the grammar of the test. And on all of these, the WTD is being as literal as possible, which is just great advice for everything on the English section of the ACT. Be as literal as possible. So let's read this question and be as literal as possible. Which choice most effectively leads into the new subject of this paragraph? So we need to figure out the subject of this paragraph while summarizing a main idea of the preceding paragraph. All right. So the preceding paragraph is talking all about the different ways that it is actually used, or the details of how it can be used. And then the preceding sentence is, or preceding paragraph, is about real life areas where it is being used, more so than just how the nuts and bolts actually work. And so answer A, because of the versatility, which the paragraph before it is talking about the versatility. So that is summarizing a main idea of the preceding paragraph. And then, because of its versatility, that's setting up the next, saying there's a lot of things that it can be used for, and here are examples. So I think that this is going to be the answer, but we'll still go ahead and eliminate the other answers, thanks to the effort of enthusiasts. So this is referring to earlier in the passage. Is probably why they're wanting to trick you when we were trying to figure out why some people thought it was going to continue to exist, but that's not what the preceding paragraph is about. And it's very important that you be as literal as possible in referring to exactly what it's talking about. It's not talking about earlier in the essay, it's talking about, it says the preceding paragraph. So B was not talked about in the preceding paragraph, and it's also not an explanation of why we can use it for all these different things in the coming paragraph. So it doesn't satisfy either before or after. Though it has fallen from use, that is not what the preceding paragraph is about. That was earlier in the essay, and that's how they're trying to trick you, but it was not the preceding paragraph. And you need to be as literal as possible. If it says preceding paragraph, that's what it needs to be about. Answer D, easy to learn and fun to use. It doesn't say anywhere in the preceding paragraph that it was easy to learn, nor does it say anything in the following paragraph about it being fun to use or easy to learn. And so this just doesn't apply to anything that is before or after. And so the only one that applies, that perfectly summarizes the main idea in the preceding and leads us into the new, is answer A. If this made sense to you, please add it to your worksheet. Write the explanation on the explanation side and the answer, and then go ahead and do all of the remaining intro and transition questions that you missed on this test. If this is the last intro or transition question you missed on this test, please go ahead and do the transition and intro mastery. You can either do 5 transition and 5 intro, or you can do 10 of them combined, or you can just focus on one or the other. Whatever you think is where you need to spend your time on. Please go ahead and do that before you're coming back and doing the next category that you missed the most of.